So in this upcoming 2022 NFL season, who do you guys think is going to win MVP?
I think first everybody has to obviously say Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes right now is arguably, I think, the best quarterback in the NFL. I'm not necessarily saying the greatest. Obviously, Tom Brady has that is number one in that category. But when it comes to talent, 100%, Patrick Mahomes is there. When it comes to talent around him, Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, they're right there. So Patrick Mahomes has to be number one for me. I honestly think that he was snubbed last year. I think that he should have won it over Aaron Rodgers. That's a conversation for another time. But regardless, Patrick Mahomes is going to be number one. My number two is going to be a little bit surprising. I'm going to say Kyler Murray. I pretty much said this going into another video that we did. We pretty much made predictions about that division. I said that I think that the Cardinals are definitely going to be a very good football team. And I think Kyler Murray is going to be the main reason why they're going to be a very good football team. They have a lot of weapons around Kyler Murray, not necessarily saying Larry Fitzgerald is going to be the same Larry Fitzgerald, but not only him, you have DeAndre Hopkins, you have AJ Green. They bolstered the defense a little bit. I think overall he's going to take another leap, and I think honestly he's probably going to be definitely in that mix for MVP. Now, number three, this right is going to be a little bit surprising. I'm going to say Aaron Rodgers. Again, Aaron Rodgers. I don't know what's up with Aaron Rodgers. It's like every time he feels like he's disrespected, he comes out throwing absolute bombs. I think if he does come out, if he does stay with the Green Bay Packers, because of course, what he's been saying recently, he's not necessarily committing to the Green Bay Packers. And in my mind, some sick way, that right there tells me that he's locked in 100%. I think if he comes in 100% and he's kind of locked in, as I think he is, he's going to be an absolute force. I think the team overall, the Green Bay Packers, we understand that they're already good. They have a very good chance of winning the NFC and getting that first round bye. It's really predicated about his want to win another title. And he's seen what Tom Brady did. He understands what he did to him in the playoffs. On top of that, I think he is chasing Tom Brady 100%. We understand that he's not necessarily going to catch him in regards to number of rings, but in regards to actually beating him and actually winning in the same conference, I think that right there is going to be absolutely huge for Aaron Rodgers. And I think that right there is probably going to drive him. Not only that, but also, of course, the disputes within the organization of the Green Bay Packers. So that right there is my top three MVP candidates.
Yeah, man, I'm actually shocked that you said Kyler Murray, but I do like that you went a different route. And I'm also shocked you said that Aaron Rodgers was a bit of a surprise, because I was actually going to go with Aaron Rodgers myself with one of my picks, because I think when you go, when you talk about the regular season, Aaron Rodgers reminds us a lot of like a guy like James Harden, who he's always going to be in that conversation for MVP in the regular season. And like you said, that's why he's chasing Tom Brady. I mean, what makes Tom Brady the greatest of all time is the fact that he gets it done throughout the season and then goes all the way to the Super Bowl. Whereas a guy like Aaron Rodgers, he'll have one of the greatest, regular seasons that we've ever seen, but can't simply get it done or lead his team all the way. So for that reason, and also with the reason of, like you said, every time he feels disrespected, he just feels the need to, go out there and show why he's Aaron Rodgers, and he goes and wins the MVP. So I think that he should be one of our picks. Of course, I got to go with Patrick Mahomes. I mean, I think everybody here is obvious we're going to have Patrick Mahomes in our top three. Best quarterback in the league right now by far. He has the best weapons in the league by far, and he really can do it all. So there's not much that needs to be said there. Now, my surprise pick, my pick, you're going to be like, whoa, I don't know about that one. I got to say Josh Allen. Josh Allen, man, he's been proving a lot of people wrong, man. At 6'5", he has wheels on him. He has a really big arm. And then the addition of Stephon Diggs. I mean, that connection has been proven to be like one of the greatest quarterback wide receiver connections that we've seen in the league since he's gotten to Buffalo. And so with him, with his ability to put up them stats, his ability to run, now that they have a defense that's a really complete team, and I think that, they're going to run away with that division, I think you got to put Josh Allen up there in your top three. What's going on, Adrian? You telling me pump the brakes? What's going on?
I thought you was getting excited. You were gonna say one of the best quarterback wide receiver duos of all time.
I was
gonna tell you the brakes. Give me a second.
We know that's Eli and Plaxico Burress. Come on now.
You see, we're gonna move on from that. But listen, it's funny because you say Josh Allen. I actually agree. That was going to be my number two pick because Patrick Mahomes, I don't have to go on about how good he is and what he means to the Kansas City Chiefs. But Josh Allen, I really feel like he's ready to make that next step in his career. Like, he already shown us what he can do. He's already shown that he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league. And I feel like this season coming up, especially with the great season he had last season. He's gonna take that step forward and become an elite quarterback, maybe even an MVP quarterback. You never know. But my number 3 pick, I don't know if you guys are ready. My hot take of the day: Cam Newton is gonna come back into MVP form, and he's gonna be the first Patriot since Tom Brady to win an MVP. And he's gonna come out. He's gonna have a better season than Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, all of them. And he's gonna show that he's Superman Cam once again.
You know, I ain't gonna lie. I really like that Cam Newton surprise. Here's the thing about Cam Newton. I think if the Patriots have any success, one, it's gonna obviously be predicated about the defense, but a lot of their offense is gonna come from Cam Newton. One of the things that was very surprising early on in the season last year with the Patriots, obviously we understood that even last year Cam Newton was damn near for the first, I'd say 2 or 3 games, he was damn near MVP conversations. Like 70% of their offense actually came from Cam Newton. And because of their lack of weapons, again, this year, they didn't necessarily do a lot to bolster that. I think if they do have a decent offense, again, majority of their yards, majority of their output is going to come from Cam Newton. So again, if the Patriots are actually good in regards to record, I would not be surprised at all if Cam Newton is actually going to be an MVP conversation.
I mean, you guys are giving a lot of praise to a backup quarterback. I mean, I don't. It'd be really
What?
historic for a backup quarterback to win MVP while being a backup, while never playing a snap. I'm here to tell you right now, Mac Jones is QB1 of the Patriots. I don't understand where this narrative come from that Cam Newton all of a sudden is a MVP quarterback again. I mean, a lot would say that his MVP year was a fluke. I mean, we saw what happened in the Super Bowl. And listen, I'm not saying that, we're going to hold that against him forever, but we got to also be realistic. There's a few names that we can think of before we think of Cam Newton, and one of those names, I would put his actual QB1 above him as far as, this is concerned. But you guys named Cam Newton over guys like, Lamar Jackson. I mean, Matthew Stafford in LA. I mean, let's see what he does with that new team and those weapons. I'm just saying there's a lot of guys you can name before you get to, Cam Newton.
You know what? You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. All jokes aside, my number 3 quarterback, I would have to say, it has to be Russell Wilson. This is the first time in his career where he's painted to be like the bad guy. Like he's usually, Mr. Nice Guy with the hair laid back and the nice fits with his wife or whatever. But now where he's like speaking up and he's like, yo, I don't even know if I want to be here in Seattle anymore. Some people are trying to flip the table and be like, nah, he's being an asshole or something like that. Who knows? Maybe he comes out this season and just goes off. DK Metcalf also takes a step into the right direction of becoming an elite receiver in this league. And Russell Wilson just puts up numbers out of this world and finds himself with an MVP.
I honestly like the Russell Wilson. I like the Russell Wilson pick. I personally like the Cam Newton pick. I ain't gonna lie. Even if he was trolling, I think Tyler got a little bit of vendetta against Cam Newton. I don't know why. I personally believe that Cam Newton didn't necessarily get exposed in the Super Bowl. He was going up against one of the best defenses of all time. That team pretty much they averaged like 11 points against them. It was absolutely insane. Honestly, they almost scored more touchdowns that season than they actually allowed. Like that defense was phenomenal. So I don't necessarily hold that against Cam Newton. I'm saying Cam Newton is going to be the QB1, 100%. I think Mac Jones is probably going to rest. He's going to sit down for at least a year. I think that Mac Jones is going to be absolutely amazing, but I just think that Cam Newton is going to be that good this year. Now, in regards to Russell Wilson, we don't know if he has that Aaron Rodgers factor to him. Again, after I talked about this earlier, when Aaron Rodgers has some sort of dispute in regards to the franchise, he comes in locked in 100%. We don't know if Russell Wilson is going to mimic that 100%. Because of that, I'm a little bit, not necessarily too convinced, but I like the pick because, of course, he has something to prove.
My question to you is, I don't understand the Kyler Murray pick. Now, I think Kyler Murray, is a phenomenal talent, and he can run. And, of course, if you got D-Hop on your team, you're going to be able to put up some solid numbers. But what makes you, pick a guy like Kyler Murray over a guy like Russell Wilson or, Tom Brady, or even Lamar Jackson? Where does that pick come from?
Well, here's the thing. The Cardinals coming in, they're pretty much running a West Coast offense. Well, not necessarily. I should say they're running an air raid offense. The offense pretty much comes from college. Their offense is designed for the quarterback to be the guy. It's designed for the quarterback to have a bunch of weapons. The reason why it was kind of difficult to work that way the first 2 years is because their offensive line was absolutely garbage. Of course, they were still able to get wins with that mainly because Kyler Murray is so mobile. He was able to avoid a lot of rushes, but they upgraded the offensive line a little bit. Added just a. I'm not necessarily saying that it's going to be great, but I think the offensive line can hold up to where his new receivers now are able to actually get open. Again, DeAndre Hopkins, AJ Green. I personally believe those two, not necessarily saying them two alone, but I think his weapons overall is probably going to be good enough for Kyler Murray to get probably, I'm going to say, close to 5,000 yards in the air and probably close to 1,000 yards on the ground. I think that Kyler Murray and his offense and that air raid offense is going to put up insane numbers. And if they actually do win football games, we already know he's going to be in the conversation for MVP. I predicted it when we did our predictions. I thought that the Cardinals was going to be a very good football team. I think I predicted, 14-3. If they're even close to that, the numbers that he's going to put up in that offense that, again, tailored to him, it's going to be insane. It's going to be difficult to deny an MVP case for him.
5,000 yards is a lot of yards.
That's because he's probably going to be, I think he's probably going to be throwing the ball like 40 times a game.
Hey, there you have it.